As fantastic a CFP as Mel O is, as wonderful an attorney as I am, and as good as Stormy is at whatever it is he does, please do note that anything said in our podcasts are our opinions alone and are not meant to be taken as financial or legal advice.
Welcome to Finances, the Other F Word, a Gen Xer podcast for musicians and music lovers, where we discuss money and music without all the pretentious bullshit. Here are your hosts, Zoe Terry, attorney at large, Stormy Andrews, founder of Yokel Local Marketing, and Mel O, certified financial planner and author of Finances, the Other F Word. Listener discretion is advised.
English, I need a proper introduction.
Yeah, yes. Exactly. We'll make sure we get on one knee and graciously invite you in.
Just curtsy, that's all you need to do.
Well, doesn't it suck being British? Because I feel like it does.
I've been practicing my curtsy.
Absolutely not. Not living in
Have
America.
you really?
Oh, yeah.
I want to see it.
Yeah, afterwards.
Afterwards.
With a drink, yeah. So today we are going to talk about the Fyre Festival. I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen the documentary on Netflix, and we're going to kind of go through it. But before we do that, there's been some big news that just broke. I think it was Friday night he got arrested. R. Kelly, and I just knew I had his real name in my head, and it's fucking gone now. But anyway, finally after, let's see, when did he marry Aaliyah? So Aaliyah came out, One in a Million. Was that her favorite? That was her first song? I'm trying to think. That was like 96? Aaliyah was in like 96, and he was 26 at the time, and he ended up taking her across state lines when she was 15 and marrying her. And then the uncle, who was an affiliate of R. Kelly, found out and was like, motherfucker, you better divorce my niece. You know, like, what the fuck are you doing? And they ended up getting an annulment. Actually, I don't think they officially got a divorce, but I honestly think he probably still fucked Aaliyah through like the whole thing. But then there's been a whole bunch of conversations about him having, you know, houses all over the place with all these girls who he calls the babies.
They're called the babies?
The babies, I think so.
Nice.
I think they're called the babies.
That's not too wrong.
They have uniforms. They have, well, yeah, that's true. That's true. But I wonder if, like, at a certain point, like, they get eliminated off the island. You know, like, they hit,
I think once you hit 18, I think 21's too old for him. Once you hit 21, you're
he's
out.
like, God. Yeah, and then there's, of course, the R. Kelly joke that it's supposed to be in the teens tonight, just how I like it, which is fucking awful.
Wait, say that again? What's the joke?
The joke is the temperature is supposed to be in the teens tonight, just like I like it. And it's a meme of him singing. But anyway, so he's supposed to have houses all over the place with all of these girls in them that wear matching sneakers and shit. I don't know. Anyway, so the documentary, what was it? Leaving R. Kelly? What the fuck is it?
Surviving R.
Kelly,
like
which I did not see.
I did.
Okay, I didn't. Tell us about it.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, even if half of it is true, it's frightening, to say the least.
Well, like, I mean, like, what were they saying? Did they have to wear, like, matching school uniforms, or what was going on?
Well, they had to call him, what was it they had to call him? Daddy. They had to call him Daddy for a start, which in itself is...
Does he have kids? Because that would be fucking gross if he does.
I don't know if he has kids.
Yeah, we should figure that out.
I'm going to call my wife right now and say, hey, from this point forward,
you have to
call me Daddy.
Yeah, I would love to hear you actually tell Sandra that. Because Daddy is too understated if you're going to do it.
And that was mainly it, that they weren't allowed to see their family. They were isolated from their families.
I heard that.
And many of their families hadn't seen them for years. And they were, just teenage girls who he'd picked up at, one of them in particular, he'd picked up at one of his trials.
At his trials?
Which I thought was a real classy move.
Exactly. Well, you know, when you think of class, you think of R. Kelly anyway.
Oh,
absolutely.
You know, on the way here, actually, I had my favorite radio. It's a mix of all my favorite songs, and Bump and Grind came on, and I was like, I am not going to fucking support
I don't know
music
that song
anymore. You know, yes, you do.
No, I don't know the song. Can you, for those of us who don't know the song, can you sing it?
I don't see nothing wrong, something like that.
Okay,
with a little bump and grind. You know the fucking song story.
Oh, that song. Okay,
yes,
I just wanted to make sure I was thinking of the right one.
I can't even sing it.
So he's reportedly in jail, and this is going to be something interesting that probably on another podcast we're going to have to really dive deep into, but I believe his bail was set at $250,000, and he told the judge that he didn't have enough money to make bail. So I don't know. His record company dropped him finally.
It wasn't $1 million, but he only had to come up with
Yeah,
$250,000.
it was
right?
$1 million, but it was set at $1 million. But I think he only had to.
I thought it
come
was
up with
usually like
25%.
10. I thought it was usually 10%. No, I don't know. Well, maybe for his he has 7 counts against him. I don't know where that came from. 7 counts against him.
Country.
That's right, y'all. I am from the South. So 7 counts against him that carry a sentence of 7 years each. And so he's 50-something right now. So, I mean, basically he would be in jail till he's like 70-something. Yeah, so they basically said...
Wait, 7 times 7, that's 49.
Right, so is my math off?
You said he's 50 plus 49?
Well, I don't know if I think he's a little older than... Well, okay, so let's do some math
Let's
here.
add 49 to
All
anything.
right, Zoe, you're going to do the math here. So he was 26 when he married Leah, which was 96. So 96 was how many years ago? 22.
Let's say if he's 50.
Okay.
But that still puts him in prison until 99.
Whatever. So hopefully the motherfucker will never get out, right?
Right.
Let's just agree on that. I don't know. I don't
Until
do
all our
basic
kids
math.
are grown anyway. That's all we need to worry.
Well, I mean, you have boys though too, so he's not partial to the boys. So I think you're okay.
No, you're right.
Yeah, and Stormy's kids are grown, but they're also boys. So, and I don't have kids because fuck that.
And my stepdaughter is far too old. She's 19, so.
Oh, she's
Yeah,
way
he's
too-
just
She's out of his
practically
league.
grandma.
Yeah,
practically
absolutely.
a grandma for him. So anyway, so he's in jail with the 7 counts against him. His record label dropped him finally. I know that he had to pull out of a couple arena shows, which I can't think of where they were now, because basically people boycotted him, et cetera, and so I don't know, when you put on concerts, you have insurance on them, and I don't know if they were properly insured or not, but when, that could be part of it. But even if your record company drops you, you've been, let's see, R. Kelly and Public Announcement came out in 91 with Vibe, right? You got that vibe. I do still love that song. But so you're telling me that for 30 years, right?
30 years.
30 fucking years. You've been in the music industry and you haven't put anything away that, especially if you know you're fucking young girls, right? You haven't saved.
I'm pretty sure he knew he was doing it.
Right. Yeah. And you haven't saved any money to go, maybe I'm going to get in trouble one day and have to save my ass.
Babysitters are expensive.
Yeah.
You got to get the babysitters.
Yeah, but they're all living as a commune, right? So don't they just take care of each other?
Take care of each other,
Oh, maybe that's the case.
Yeah.
Oh, because he has no money to get out.
He has no money to get out. So that's what I'm
Wait,
saying.
he couldn't come up with $250,000.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
How much has he made? Millions.
Easily millions. I mean,
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, he R. Kelly Public Announcement. It was like in 91 or 2, maybe 3, 92 or 3. So I mean, I don't understand where the fuck all your money went. You know what I mean? I honestly, it just blows my mind. So anyway, so he's in jail, hopefully for good. And that's the news on R. Kelly. So I'm going to have to do some research and figure out where all this bastard's money went because it is gone.
So I'm looking up R. Kelly right now on Google. Mm-hmm. Me and Google go way back, but it says it's estimated. This is strange to me. It says it's estimated that R. Kelly is worth around $1 million. $1 million.
Only fucking
They're saying he made the bulk of his money from the hit single "I Believe I Can Fly."
Oh God,
which
hate
is a
that
horrible song.
Oh,
I hate
yeah.
that fucking song too.
It's featured in Space Jam.
I was
didn't
gonna
know
say
they
that
do
was in Space Jam.
But wait a second, $1 million?
Well, that's enough to get him out of jail, right?
Well, no, because the thing is that his net worth can be primary residences, and then it's not liquid. It doesn't matter. Wow. So yeah. So if you have 10 houses and they're all worth $1 million, your net worth is $10 million, but you're broke.
You're broke. Absolutely.
You're fucking broke. So anyway, so I mean, I would say that I hope that the accusations against him aren't true, but clearly they are. I mean, I know presumed innocent, or whatever. I mean, you're the lawyer, Zoe, but you know how that goes. But
I heard there's a sex tape.
I'm not buying it.
Oh,
yeah,
there's
I know.
more sex tapes, and there's DNA now. This is
Somebody
is all-
saved a shirt. I was like, oh, she Lewinsky'd your ass. Yeah,
Ooh, a shirt.
she did.
Video.
That he
more videos.
he expelled himself on. Yeah, I know it's pretty fucking gross,
But
but
his biggest supporter on the documentary was one of his brothers from jail. It was just
are you kidding me?
no, in his jumpsuit. Saying,
Okay.
yeah,
That is the
He's got a
outfit of
type.
anybody trustworthy.
Yeah, and he kept saying he's got a type. Yeah,
Yeah, young
minors.
young girls.
You have to watch it.
Yeah, but I'm
great
really blown away
documentary.
by where all his money would have went. That's what just absolutely astonishes me.
Lollipops.
I think he was spending way too much. He should have followed Robert Kraft's. He was spending $79.
Robert Kraft? I don't know who.
Robert Kraft, owner of the Patriots.
I don't know.
You don't know what happened to him this weekend?
No, that's about sports. Yeah, I think
Robert Kraft.
Patriots are a football
sports, so
team
that's
who
wrong.
cheat constantly.
Well, he just got caught cheating because he got caught at a massage parlor that gave a little bit more than massages.
So did he ask for a happy ending?
Yeah, for $79.
Oh, that's a bargain.
Mm-hmm.
R. Kelly was spending way too much.
Can I pay somebody? Next time I get a man, I'll be like, hey, can I just pay you $79 so I can get a good night's sleep?
Well, that's what I pay at Massage Envy, and I don't get a happy ending. So
well, you're getting ripped.
I need to speak to someone.
You're getting ripped. So how did they bust him?
Video.
Well, what are they doing videoing him?
The police, apparently there was a sting going on, and they were doing a month-long sting, so they caught a whole bunch of people, and they got him on video.
Yeah, but
and he was there twice.
But he has money, so why are you paying $79? I guess I would.
He's a billionaire.
I know. So if you're gonna get whacked off by somebody, I would assume that you would want like the high-end tail, right?
Yeah, you would think.
It's because money doesn't buy you class.
But and Hugh Grant, speaking of British people not having class, Hugh Grant
I wasn't speaking about British people.
Had Elizabeth Hurley, who was fine as hell, and picked up. What was her name? She was who did a song about her called Beauty. You know who I'm talking about.
Beauty and the Beast.
Divine. She's a trans.
He hooked up with Divine?
Yeah, Divine.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they caught him. They busted him getting oral sex.
Yeah, in the back of a...
Divine Brown.
Yeah, Divine Brown. I didn't know it was Divine Brown. I thought it was a prostitute.
And have you seen Elizabeth? Well, she is. Divine Brown is a prostitute.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Famous prostitute.
So you're not too...
Oh, okay, I'm not too far off.
You're not too far off. Yeah. But she's a
she's divine.
Woman or yeah.
No, I wouldn't go that far, but she isn't Elizabeth Hurley.
Right.
Oh God, Elizabeth Hurley's amazing. Even now, she's gorgeous and sexy. So he got in trouble. Well, first of all, I don't like the Patriots, and I'm sure we have Patriot listeners out there. Sorry, fuck that. They're awful. They're cheating. This is what I don't understand about Patriot fans. Is that when you sit there and you talk any kind of show, they've been to the Super Bowl, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yeah, and they've been caught cheating. And they're like, oh, everybody cheats. I'm like, no. They've been caught cheating twice. So look at it this way. Okay, so assume you're married, right? And your dude goes out and he cheats. And you catch him, right?
Okay.
Then he comes back and he's like, oh, blah, 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 whatever. I'm sorry, this, that, and the other thing. You're like, okay. And then motherfucker goes out again and cheats again. And then he comes back. Okay, so
he tripped and fell in the vagina.
Yeah,
that happens.
Exactly.
Sometimes it happens.
Yeah,
I tripped.
It wasn't him.
It just tripped.
It wasn't him.
It wasn't him.
It wasn't him. I mean, but my thing is that so would you keep that spouse? Because if you do, you're dealing with the fucking cheating spouse. So if you're a Patriot fan, your team is a cheater. That's all I'm saying. So I don't give a fuck if they won the last Super Bowl or if they won a bazillion Super Bowls. Who's the damn quarterback? I hate him too.
Oh, is he the
He's
the
one
God
that's
Squad?
married to
Tom
the
Brady.
super hot chickie. Tom Brady. Who's
Tom
he married
Brady.
to?
Giselle.
Yeah, she is.
Giselle.
She is pretty. Giselle. I don't remember her first name.
Yeah.
I don't
I guess
think she
it's
has
Giselle.
one.
Yeah, it doesn't
Giselle
matter.
or Gazelle, something like
Giselle.
that.
She doesn't
Yeah.
need any
It's
other.
one of
Giselle and
those.
Gazelle. Yeah, no,
Right.
she's amazing. Was there any other sex / entertainment related news that came out this weekend that I didn't hear?
Not from me personally.
Not from you? Okay.
No, none this weekend.
All right, nothing. Did you do it all in
Or Mr.
England?
Terry.
Did you do it all in England when you're on your last visit and you just keep it all undercover there?
Yes. pretty
Yeah.
much.
I don't think British people are capable of doing that because I think you guys are too fucking
I
polite.
think they're proper, yeah.
Yeah, I think you guys would spend too much time being polite to each other to actually
Did you
ever.
know that's just a facade? That deep down we are the kinkiest
No way.
bitches around.
No way.
Oh, you know that.
No.
Okay.
No,
If you
I
say
picture
so.
all the men in England wearing like knee-high white socks still, and like somewhere in
you
their
know-
closet they have a powdered wig.
And underneath it, they're wearing ladies' underwear.
Do they? Yeah, I think you've been watching too much Monty Python. Perhaps. Yeah,
Perhaps.
maybe just a little bit. A lot of you guys probably have watched recently the Fyre documentary on Netflix. If you didn't, basically, long story short, Billy McFarlane, or William McFarlane goes by Billy McFarlane, whatever, and JaRule, which we're going to come back to again because I don't understand what happened there, decide they're going to throw on this epic concert on an island, and they get all these model women out there, and basically for 3 days or 4 days they get all fucked up and they drink, and then they take photos and video of these beautiful women. And on this island that used to be Pablo Escobar's island,
Which they weren't supposed to tell anyone.
What I know, and morons.
Yeah.
Who does that? Who does that? Am I being loud?
No, that's good.
Oh, yeah.
They weren't supposed to tell anyone, and within about the first
I know,
second,
but more,
Right.
they put it on the fucking
Yeah.
reel. Like, the attorney's like, hey, it's okay. You can go ahead and use the island, but don't mention Pablo Escobar. And then they fucking put it, owned by Pablo Escobar. You dumb motherfuckers. So anyway, so they have this island with no electricity, no type of foundations, none of this kind of stuff. And they're going to throw on this epic, festival and bring all these people out there. And they're going to have bands over a 2-weekend period and yada, 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 and blah, blah, blah. So the first thing that really struck me about this is how the fuck did I never hear about this? And I realized, so this came out in 2016. Charges were brought against him in 2017, which we'll come back to. He was charged in 2018 with violations of the SEC, which we'll talk about a little bit about what that means and what he did as far as investors go. And so out of all this, I never even heard about this festival. And then I realized it's because I don't give a shit about models.
Oh.
So you know how they put up that orange thing and
Yeah.
like all these models had posted this orange screen, and I realized that's why I didn't hear anything about it because I don't follow models. And it made me think about, at one point in the documentary, there was this little tiny blip where the guy was talking about influencers and what kind of obligation do they have in the event that all these poor people, who
Not really
probably
poor.
well,
No,
yeah,
no,
that's
no.
true.
I don't give a
There,
shit.
there was
Yeah.
no, there were no poor people going
that's
to the
true.
Fyre
That's
Festival.
true. However, like
However.
okay, but still, even if you let's say you make, I don't know, $100,000 a year. Okay?
I don't think there was anyone making less than
well,
$250,000 a year going
but
to
a
that
general
festival.
admission ticket was $4,000 or $5,000. So if
Okay.
you make $100,000 a year and you do your money right, easily you can do that. You can set that aside. So these poor people, or not poor people, were in a position where they had decided to buy these tickets because of the influencers. And one of the questions that they asked was, what kind of liability do the influencers have, and do they have to disclose the fact that they're getting paid for this? And I thought that was really amazing because I don't understand influencers in the first place. Like, I don't care. I don't care what you're doing. I mean, yeah, okay, you're a model, you're gorgeous, but I don't want to see fucking 500 pictures of you doing this with the duck lips, and then now I'm doing this, and it's oh my God, how monotonous. I don't understand how the influencers can carry that much power that somebody would go, oh yeah, I'm totally dropping $5,000 on a ticket,
Well,
even about sex.
Obviously, I'm a little offended by that statement because obviously you haven't seen my duck lips.
I'm still not paying $4,000 to go and.
Yeah.
And I've got some duck lips.
We
but,
can look.
you know,
We can
that's
look through
another
your
story.
Facebook for that. We can look through your Facebook. I don't know if your wife would be interested in your duck lips. So
Oh,
if
my
she's not.
duck
I don't
lips,
think we're going to be
That's
interested.
how I got her.
Before it was a thing. He's
I was
like,
doing the duck lips and the unibrow back in the 80s.
everybody had the unibrow
I
in the
guess in
80s.
the 80s. So.
I know. God bless Sandra. Jesus Christ, woman. But yeah, so that's why I realized that I didn't understand it. And then it got me thinking, so if you're paying, so running down, they said that he ended up pulling from investors $26.5 million total, spent all of it.
Wait, $26.5 million from the investors before ticket sales.
Right. So he.
Okay, wow.
Yeah, that's what he said. Well, that's the article that I read afterwards. So I don't
Okay.
know if it included the ticket sales or not, but $26.5 million. Let's say it did.
Okay.
Okay, let's say it did. So $26.5 million. So how do you start to even begin to spend that? Okay, yeah, I know he had a lavish lifestyle, but that's still not that much. Then, assuming that, the lesser influencers, he paid $50,000.
Okay.
Then, to the very top models, $250,000. Right? Something like that is what they said in the documentary.
Wow.
So even then, there was 5 or 6 models that were on it. So, that's a little over $1 million. But they didn't actually do anything. Like they barely got the site built, once they moved to the site. They barely got anything actually put up. The tents that they were using were hurricane tents. So for the life of me, I'm like, he fucking embezzled it. So it wasn't that he took that money and he threw it on a venture that just panned out and just fell through. Not at all. Like somewhere in there, that motherfucker took some of that money and had to pack it away somewhere because you can't spend, even with that, $26.5 million.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah, he didn't pay any of the musicians. They hadn't got paid.
Oh, yeah, that's right. No one got paid.
That's why they pulled out.
Yeah, the
Forgot
catering.
about that. No one got paid. The caterer
Yeah.
didn't get paid. No.
No.
No, and remember the tents that, they were promising cabanas and all this other kind of crap, God. And they were hurricane tents. Yep. So, okay, so you had, I think they said they had 300 tents. So it's 600 mattresses, so 2 mattresses per tent. Okay. That's not that much. And the tents are not lavish.
Couple of cheese sandwiches, that's not...
Yeah, exactly. It was, and it looked like Kraft American singles. That shit we used to eat in the 80s.
Right.
That is not cheese. That does not melt. Dude, honestly... That shit does not melt. It is like the plastic consistency of the wrapper. Can I say that? Is Kraft going to come after me for that?
I think you're okay. Allegedly.
Allegedly. Okay.
Allegedly, it doesn't melt.
Allegedly, it doesn't melt. But so as I'm sitting here, I'm just trying to figure out where this man would have spent all this money.
Chicks and blow.
Chicks and blow. And this is the thing that I was so Stormy, you're a dude, so maybe you can help me out here,
okay,
right? Because
I'm ready.
I know the stereotype is that if guys have money, girls basically throw pussy at them, right?
Okay.
So, but this dude, first of all, this is the thing that could trip me out. So Seth MacFarlane. Do you guys know who Seth MacFarlane is?
Absolutely.
Okay, Family Guy, love Family Guy. Plus, he's a Star Trek fan, and I love Star Trek, and he created his own Star Trek, and it's hilarious. Hilarious that he did that. I haven't
Orville?
actually seen it.
I've seen Orville once or twice.
Is it? It is an Orville?
It's called Orville. I've watched it only once or twice, and I thought I was going to dig it, but it was just dry, and I didn't give it, maybe I didn't give it enough because it's still in the air. I think it was supposed to be funny, but it wasn't. And I'm a big fan of Seth MacFarlane. I love the Family Guy and some of his other stuff, but I thought it was kind of dry. Yeah, but once again, I've only seen 2 episodes. So if anyone listening to this if they have other advice to give us, please do, because so far I think the show sucked.
Deep Space Nine was the first one after Star Trek: The Next Generation, and
Right.
Worf was on there, who I thought was just hot as hell. And I'm still, anytime he's in his costume, I'm like, fuck yeah. He was on Deep Space Nine, and then there was, I think, 7 of
9.
7 of 9. God, she is. I'm like, you bastard producers putting her in that outfit. Like, that is all. No, it's
7 of 9.
She looks gorgeous.
Oh, yes.
I mean, her body
Jerry
was
Ryan.
crazy.
See, I had a crush on her.
You should have.
I did because, she was kicking.
She's
absolutely.
If you don't know who we're talking about,
I don't.
We'll pull up a picture of her. Yeah, her outfit was, she was like a brick house, but not like super brick house.
I'm like, assimilate me.
So yeah, grr, baby. We have to translate that into Zoe language. Yeah,
Zoe language.
Be a little British with it.
So is Seth MacFarlane related to Bill?
No, but
Billy?
This is what tripped me out. If you picture Seth MacFarlane, picture Billy McFarlane, they fucking look identical. They have the same weird eyes. And I'm like, is that a McFarlane trait? Like, is it just if your last name is McFarlane, you just got the same eyes? Seriously, pull it up on Google right now. I'm telling you, people, Google Seth MacFarlane and Google Billy McFarlane, and those bastards have the same eyes. And I was like, there's no way they're related. And then when I saw their eyes, I'm like, I don't know, man.
But they're not.
I don't think so. I mean, I haven't read anything that there was any allusion to that, but their fucking eyes look exactly the same.
They have McFarlane eyes.
They have McFarlane eyes. Instead of Betty Davis eyes. She's got Betty Davis eyes. Oh, I love that song.
That's a good song.
Kim Carnes, she was great. Do you see it? Do you have a picture of them side by side?
Yeah, I guess they do. I'm not going to give you identical. You've stretched it a little bit. Like most women, you guys exaggerate.
No, they're pretty close.
Just as well that we do most of the time.
Right, exactly. We got to believe 4 inches is something exciting.
Yeah, I'll give you close, but I'm not going to give you identical.
I don't know. Can you turn your screen so Zoe can see it?
No.
Okay, well, you're going to have to see it afterwards. Wow, Zoe's just getting asked out on everything. So, yeah, he has a lot of money, but do you think this is such a stupid question.
Okay, is this the question you were going to pose to me earlier?
Yeah, this is
okay, here's the question,
folks.
folks. Here's the question.
No, I was going to say, do you really think he was getting pussy?
With $26 million?
Who? Billy McFarland?
Yes.
Yeah, Billy
yes.
McFarland. He had 20, yes, absolutely,
Yes.
for $26 million.
But, you're a model.
I'm a model.
Okay, maybe if you're really drunk, right? You have to be really drunk.
You'd have to be really drunk.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't even have a nice body. I mean, JaRule has something weird with his eyes, too.
Okay.
He always looks like I don't know if I should say this on air, but he looks like he has, actually, I'm going to censor myself.
Some learning difficulties.
Yeah, like his eyes they're either too close together or too far apart or not level.
Okay.
Like he was dropped on his head. Maybe,
that honestly, I mean, his eyes look really weird. And how did he? Well, I think I answered that question when I was doing research. But how the fuck did JaRule end up getting off? That's a loaded question.
I was going to say.
Yeah. 5 models on an island drinking continuously.
That happens.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, but I mean, honestly, like, how did he
Not
end up?
get-
Yeah, he got away scot-free. And then when we were having lunch today, I walked by something. And they had something that JaRule was doing something. And
Here
I
in
said,
town?
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm like, how is he even relevant still? Like, I thought.
I didn't think he was relevant then. But but
Maybe this was a boon to his career.
yeah.
Well, and he's
back in it.
He's worth $7 million.
Really?
So I honestly thought his career ended when Ashanti's ended.
Apparently, he's got something going on. He's doing better than R. Kelly.
Yeah, I was going to say maybe you could lend some to R. Kelly.
Yeah, no, they're running from R. Kelly in droves. I don't think R. Kelly's going to get any help from anybody. They're pretty much off from him. So that just struck me out as I just like, how the 26, half million. And then they said that he kept going away and he would come back with money. And I'm like, how is this bastard getting money? And so then the documentary really glossed over it. And I tried to do some more research and I couldn't find it. The Securities Exchange Commission, the SEC, leveled charges against him because what he did was he was falsifying his accounting documents. And I was sitting there thinking, why wouldn't if I'm even a venture capital investor, okay, and I have a fuck ton of money, and you're going to come to me and you're going to pitch something to me, the first thing I'm going to do is see financials. But if you're a publicly traded company, and I don't know if Fyre Media was, I have a feeling they weren't. Yeah,
absolutely. This was the first gig.
Yeah, and if you were a publicly traded company, you have to have audited financials. It's part of the requirements before you can go out and, sell your shares publicly on the stock market. And the thing is that, okay, but if you're dealing with accredited investors, which an accredited investor is somebody who, if you're single, you have a net worth of $1 million minus your primary residence, or you make $200,000 a year with the expectation that you'll continue to make $200,000 a year. Or if you're a married couple, it's $300,000 a year and a $2 million net worth excluding your primary residence. And if you're an accredited investor, what happens is that they assume, which is so stupid, that because you have money that you don't need as much protection as the normal public. So there's things that like the SEC doesn't apply to them, so they don't make you have audited financial statements and those types of things. So I'm thinking, okay, so he's going to these people who are worth tons of money,
right,
or organizations with falsified documents. Nobody is looking to see if they're audited. Nobody's even questioning it.
But remember, the one guy he was going to on the TV show, he was a crook also, wasn't he? He killed himself. He drove his car into the side of a bridge.
Which one was that?
That was the guy, Chesapeake Energy. He owned the big oil fields.
Did I miss that?
Yeah, I don't remember.
Am I missing this? Am I getting my shows confused? There was one guy he was going to get money from, and he was the CEO. And I don't want to get in trouble on this. Zoe, how would I say it if I think it's Chesapeake, but I'm not sure?
Well, just saying you think it is.
Okay, I think it is. And he was a gazillionaire. He made friends with Billy McFarland. And shortly after all of this happened, he had come under his own scrutiny, and he ended up killing himself by driving his SUV into the side of a bridge.
Wow. God, I don't remember that in the documentary.
Let's see. I'm going to find out. Well, I watched both documentaries because there's one on Netflix and one on Hulu.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't see.
I didn't see. Yeah. My media budget obviously is not as extreme as Stormy's with the 2 fucking Hulus and Netflixes. Yeah.
Netflix 1.5 times. I just remember the blonde chick that just kept feeding.
Corolla.
Kept feeding him
and I
money.
wanted to know how did she make her money? I was so curious. First of all, I was like, all right, there's a woman investor, but then I was like, stop giving this bastard money, and the thing that it amazed me is like, because we're positive people, and we always, talk about, hey, you want to, speak positivity and you'll get positivity and that kind of stuff. But what amazed me was that every time they had a meeting and they were like, hey, there's all these issues coming up. He's like, we need people who are positive in here. And I'm like, dude, you also need to actually make shit happen.
Yeah, but then he kept hiding stuff from people towards the end. So no one really knew what the real picture was. So.
Yeah, so Aubrey McClendon was one of the major fund sources. He was the CEO of Chesapeake Bay.
Oh, this is
Energy.
from the Hulu then. Okay.
Yep, that was from Hulu. And Billy McFarland kept going to him, and he introduced him to lots of his buddies, is my understanding.
Yeah, so it had to be, but where does your due diligence come in? I get it, okay? Billy McFarland, you get an in with him from blah, 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 but then he just says, hey, I'm, doing this wonderful thing. And you're like, yeah, okay, let me see your financials. You don't question them, and then you just write the guy for checks. And then this is the thing that fucking pissed me off the most out of this whole fucking thing was that at the end of the documentary, they talk about that they did a class action lawsuit, and the two people that they interviewed were the ones who started the class action lawsuit. So they think that they, in the little blip at the end, was awarded like $1.5 million, which they're never going to see, right? So all of these businesses or all of these individuals, however they got funded, gets to write all that shit off on their taxes. And all these bastards who paid $4,000 to $5,000 or more for cabanas and yachts and all this bullshit, done. Like, they don't get nothing. They don't get any kind of, and I don't give a damn if you make $250,000 a year and you pay $10,000 for a concert, you don't get to write off shit. And that's a bigger percentage than somebody who is a millionaire so many times over getting able to write off $5, $6, $7, $8 million that they gave you.
Well, one was an investment, the other was for a party. I can't write off the parties I go to. And you should see the parties I go to.
I don't want to see.
I doubt.
There's,
Even worse than that,
Mr. Rogers would love his parties. Yeah,
I have very,
God bless you,
very
Mr. Rogers.
minimum sympathy for them. I just do, because they should have looked into it further. Anyone who based on a model's tweeting an orange tile spends $4,000 on a concert ticket, I have minimal sympathy for, and then puts another $4,000 on cash on a wristband.
Oh God,
exactly.
I know.
Whatever.
And
but the persons and people I felt most sorry for were the bar owners and all the people on that island that did all that work.
Oh, I know.
And never got a penny. That woman who in that restaurant had poured in
all her savings,
all her life savings, and didn't get a penny. That's who I felt sorry for. I didn't give a shit about these influencers. I don't even know what that means. Who lost out on $4,000.
And I
once. Well, no, it wasn't the I'm sorry, it wasn't the influencers. It was people who bought tickets. But I mean, I get what you're saying. Why would you rush in and just do something the influencer says? But anyway.
Well, I once spent $75 on a Milli Vanilli concert, right?
Okay.
And
I
can never get that money back. I can't get that money back. So if I can't get my money back,
actually,
they can't get their money back.
Okay, listen to the attorney. That was my next question. Did you go to the concert?
To see Milli Vanilli?
Yeah.
What happens if I admit it?
You're not getting your money back regardless. Yeah. Ooh. I love you. I know. Blame it on the rain. That was the other one. Blame it on the rain.
But did you go to the concert though, Stormy?
Yes, I went to the concert.
Okay, then services were rendered, right?
Exactly. Did you enjoy it?
But no, I didn't.
Then
because I was
you didn't
scammed.
drink enough. You didn't drink
I
enough.
didn't drink enough. Because I thought they were
everything.
providing the services and it was someone else. So now I want my money back.
With
interest.
With Milli Vanilli, in the one guy, it was Fab and
not so. Fab?
No. Their names were Fab and.
Was it Fred?
No, it was Fab and something. But the buffer of the two, the more masculine looking, he hung himself.
Oh, really? They're not alive?
He committed suicide.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, 10 or 12 years ago.
That.
Actually,
Wow.
more than that, probably 15 years ago. Yeah, he just never got over the
ridicule.
The fact, and he was like, hey, we really can sing.
I'm not sure that they could,
I don't know. I mean, we never even gave it didn't matter at that point. We never even gave the poor guys a chance. But there's a whole big in the rock world right now. There's a whole big stink going on because Motley Crue, who's my favorite band, got the sweatshirt behind me.
Okay.
They use backup tracks. So if they have, there's the four core of them, Mick, Tommy, Nikki, and Vince, and but they have some songs where they might have violins or something in. And so when they go in concert, they bring a backup track to play those parts and also to help them with the vocals because Vince, I love you, baby, but I've seen them 17 times. He cannot get through a song without, every time he does, I just want to give him oxygen. It looks like he's going to pass out. And, so they were using backup tracks, and apparently Gene Simmons, who's the bassist for Kiss, started talking massive shit. Well, Gene Simmons is a big, like Nikki Sixx idolizes Gene Simmons, and he's like, motherfucker, you guys use backup tracks. And of course, so now there's this whole big thing. Ozzy's been using backup tracks for a year because he just can't. I've seen Ozzy so many times. He claps on 1 and 3. His voice is horrible. He's Ozzy, so you go fucking see him because he's Ozzy. But his voice
he's still alive.
Because he's still alive.
Yeah.
Please, Ozzy, for fuck's sake, do not die. But he, so he's always used backup tracks. So now there's that big hoopla. So the thing is that I get it that these people weren't even their voices, right? And so you can argue that if you're at a concert and they're doing a backup track, it's still the person singing. But really, I mean, it's very similar.
I got a question for you. Is backup track, is that the technical term for lip syncing?
Well, no, because technically they're still singing over top of it, but the having the backtracks on it, like, so Shout at the Devil, I don't know if you don't get Shout at the Devil by Motley Crue, it's a fucking amazing album. It's their second album. It's amazing. So there's a song Shout at the Devil is the title track, and it's a lot of words in a little small space. And I mean, and you can't, again, I've seen Vince 17 times from the 90s and on up. He's never been able to get through the whole song. So when he's about to collapse because he can't breathe, then the backup track is still singing his words. So if you're a concert goer and you're fucked up, which is most people are drunk or on something else, he might be, he's trying to sing, but the backup track is still going. So it kind of gives you the feeling that maybe the song is still complete, where I think without the backup track, you would just literally hear just gasping for air. Yeah, and I love you, Vince. I do. And he's the only one in the band I haven't met. I swear to God, he's dodging me. And he lives in Summerlin, bastard.
Does he really?
Yes, he does.
Wow. And
I have had so many, I was at the Billboard Music Awards, and he was like from here to there, and I was being totally annoying. And I was like, Vince! Like, I'm screaming. He just like, fuck you, not even paying attention to me. I was at Red Rock in the Circle Bar, and I think I went to see them and Poison, and somebody else, and Flavor Flav was there. That was awesome. And he's behind the rope.
Flavor Flav was he in the same concert?
Yeah, he would. Well,
Crue?
Because remember, they had a reality show. Brett Michaels, the lead singer for Poison and Flavor Flav in the 90s, was on a reality show in VH1. So they're like buds.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so it's a whole bunch of like super metalheads. And, Flavor Flav comes walking by and everybody's like, Flavor Flav! And he's like, yeah, Anyway, so, I mean, but going back to my original conversation, it's still backup track. They're still not singing.
Right. Interesting.
So if they were actually singing, they couldn't be doing all those crazy dance moves and whipping their braids around.
You can't have it all.
You can't have it all. No. Unless you're J-Lo. I think she can do it all. Yeah.
Yeah, J-Lo can do quite a bit.
Yeah, she's still fine. It's awful. It's not right. How can you be older than me and look better than me, J-Lo? That fucking sucks.
She's probably had some help. Julie.
Allegedly. Yeah. But she's been dancing since forever. And, she was a fly girl.
Right.
Oh,
she was a fly girl.
So so the SEC ended up stepping in, and how they actually finally got him is because Billy had inflated the assets and all of the numbers on the company, and he had gotten the people. I think they were probably venture capital people, because I don't think they were private placements, and they put all this money in. And then, of course, we all saw the disastrous end of the documentary and how it ended. And then he had the other scam that he tried to run right after
Black
it.
credit card? Oh, after
No, that was before. Yeah,
that's right, after it. What was the other scam?
It was
I don't remember.
Tickets to the Oscars.
Oh, that's our
And other
tickets
concerts.
and
other
concerts in
concerts.
Hamilton.
Yeah, and then
While he was out on probation, right?
Yeah, no, I don't think. No, they hadn't gotten him yet.
Oh.
But
I
this is
thought
the
he
thing.
was out on bail or something.
Yeah, he was out on bail.
Was he out on bail?
Yeah, he was out
when
on bail.
When he did this other thing.
It was like him and Manafort went to the same school.
Yeah, and I don't understand. I don't understand how you could. Well, they said that he was a sociopath, or sociopath, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not a psychopath.
No, well, he might be that too. We don't know. But
Yeah.
What's the difference?
I think a sociopath is where you can't detect emotions, like you can't check faces for like.
You don't have empathy and.
Yeah, you can't. Like you honestly can't. Yeah, there's just no.
Psychopath, you actually kill people.
Right, like it's violence.
You mean
yeah, like a
harm.
sociopath is somebody they do harm, but they don't do physical harm. And I think psychopaths are like killers and stuff.
Potentially,
allegedly.
Right.
That's what they are. Yeah. So anyway, so then he does that and doesn't believe he's going to jail, and he goes to jail. And so then we go back to JaRule, and I mean, my thing is that, so I guess if you looked at JaRule as an influencer, and all the other influencers got off scot-free. Right? They're like, oh, I didn't know. And then the one model apologized to all her fans. I'm like, shut up with that shit. It didn't. You still got paid. So are you really remorseful? My opinion, you're not. But maybe I don't know. Maybe I'm just being jaded. But so I guess if you look at it, the fact that JaRule is just an influencer, but if he was the one that got everybody in contract. I mean, there had to be deposits put down for the bands, even if you didn't actually finish paying them. And my thing is, if you didn't take a deposit, that's not normal. You're supposed to take some kind of deposit to lock the band down.
Right.
So I would assume that would be JaRule, right? They would just be like, oh, it's JaRule, and he's going to make sure that we get paid. And the whole thing is just so confusing to me.
So are they saying that not one of the bands collected a deposit? Not one.
Well, according to the documentary, nobody got paid anything. So
interesting.
Yeah. So my thing is that, why wouldn't you put, I mean, it's a festival. I mean, and then they mentioned they didn't have festival insurance.
Right.
I just don't understand how these big stars would commit to something that's so offhand and not take a deposit. And the only one that dropped out was Blink 182. They were the only band that said, hey, we can't put on a great show. Really what they were saying, we haven't got paid. Fuck you guys. We're not coming out. And everybody else until the last minute, I guess, or at least until about a week before, thought it was happening. I don't understand how the power of this man swindled it. And it makes me look at influencers different.
I never looked at influencers in the first place. No, I didn't even know what the word meant.
So here's a question I have for you, Mel. The guy swindled people out of $26 million.
Mm-hmm.
He's got $26 million in his pocket. And you think he couldn't get some from some models?
Oh,
Come on.
He's getting
I think he's pretty good every night.
I guess I don't like. Okay, I get it. Okay, so dude has a lot of money, right?
And apparently he's got game. He's getting people to give him money for nothing.
He's very persuasive.
So
obviously,
persuasive helps.
Yeah, I mean, understand you guys in the 80s. I was way too young, but if I would have been of age to be able to have sex, I would have probably fucked every rock star I could have got my hands on, and that is 100% the truth. But that was because they were sexy, not because they had money. To me, there was like playing guitar and talking sexually, and I was like, yeah. So, I mean, I get it. He has a lot of money, but at some point, you're still banging him. Like, you're still...
Okay, but maybe to some of the models, the way you thought rock stars were sexy, maybe they thought Benjamins were sexy.
It's all in the eyes.
It's all in the eyes. It's all in the Benjamins.
It's
Absolutely.
It's bedroom eyes, I guess you can call it.
I'd
Yeah.
have to put a bag over that head.
I know. And John,
and over the body. There'd have to just be a little hole.
Yeah, a hole through the bag.
Probably
so like
a little hole.
Yeah, you could do like what was it in Naked Gun 1 or 2 with Leslie Nielsen? He's like, I want you to know I practice safe sex, and they're in full body condoms.
Yes.
Yeah, that might be a little too old for some. YouTube it. It's fucking hilarious.
It is. I have zero sympathy for any of the influencers or the people who bought tickets. I'm sorry, I just do.
Here's what I'll do. Since Zoe has zero sympathy, I'll give you guys a little bit of sympathy.
Oh,
I mean, I feel bad for them.
I don't.
I don't at all.
Because okay, look, if you're a dude. Okay, let's talk about.
I'm a dude.
So assuming you're a dude, Stormy.
I'm a dude, okay.
Right. We're going to take it back to the Benjamins,
Let's
right?
go back to the Benjamins.
So you see all these, I don't know, half-naked chicks, and apparently for some reason you think you can land that. And so
I can. I've got mad game.
Okay, well.
That's what I think when I look at you.
Yeah, exactly.
That's Stormy. He's got mad game.
See, there you go.
Mad game.
Oh, I got to get this clip to my wife so she knows that I'm wanted out in the public.
Yeah, because that'll encourage her. And so you're like, okay, I'm making a little bit of money,
making some
right?
Benjamins.
At least enough money to buy a $5,000 ticket and then maybe put a couple more $1,000s on an arm bracelet.
Absolutely.
Which, by the way, Rock in Rio does that. So when I saw that, I was like, yeah, that's how Rock in Rio does it. But I don't remember. Well, actually, they did ask us to load it up before we got there, just for simplicity's sake.
Okay.
So when I saw that, I was like, yeah, that actually kind of makes sense.
Right.
And then you had to pay a fee to get your money back. It was bullshit. But
okay.
So if you have a little bit of coin in your pocket,
got coin, got an armband,
yeah, and so you think you're gonna get laid,
Yep.
and so $5,000 might not seem like a lot of money to you if you're making $150,000 and maybe you're a millennial or in your early 30s, but you still thought you were buying an experience. You still thought you were buying a concert. You weren't a bazillionaire that was going to go spend a whole bunch of time on a yacht. That's why I just feel bad for them.
Yeah, but you didn't.
Well,
it's not like I'm going to Glastonbury. I'm going to Rock in Rio. I'm going somewhere where I've looked into it.
Right.
I know it's got either got a name behind it or it's something new, and I can see it going up. I can see, with Rock in Rio or something like that. You went based off some semi-naked model posting an orange tile on Instagram, and then there was nothing else to show for it.
Well, they had videos and stuff, and I mean, it was good marketing.
There was good marketing,
doctored
absolutely.
videos, but they didn't know that. But I just don't. And then when you see videos of them when they're all trapped on the island.
They were assholes to each other.
Oh,
Oh, that guy. Oh, yeah, my friend pissed on something, and we were cutting up tents. I wanted to fucking choke him.
That's when I was like, there you go. That says it all right there.
He was a fucking douche. I can't even believe that he had the balls to come on a documentary. He's like, I'm going to put this out there so everybody hears this for the rest of their life, that I was a complete douchebag, and all these other poor saps who paid $4,000 and $5,000. I just fucked it up for them,
and they're all stealing stuff and
toilet paper.
Yeah, let's get as many. Just all fucking each other over like some kind of. Oh, I don't know. It was awful behavior from awful people, and I don't give a shit about them.
I'm now with Zoe. My little itsy bitsy teeny weeny piece of sympathy is now gone. I'm with Zoe.
Thank you.
Because you take toilet paper, that's just a little too far.
Yeah, but not just one. She was taking
all of it.
It was mounds. It was
mounds of toilet paper.
And I'm like, how much are you going to shit? You're not eating
exactly.
anything.
I was like, right. I was like, what are you going to do with that though? You're going to make a mattress out of it because that's what you need to do.
Yeah.
Anyway, no, I actually do. I have some sympathy for them.
You're the kind of person than we are.
Yeah. Well, clearly. I mean, I already knew that. Yeah. Everything in me says empathy.
Oh, it does.
Yeah,
I'm
absolutely.
a nice person.
Absolutely. Yeah. So anyway, I feel sorry for you guys, but next time maybe. But you want to be the first one in. I mean, think of Woodstock. I mean, the people that could have went to Woodstock that didn't go to Woodstock, they're probably kicking themselves in the ass, and that was the first time they did that.
Here's the deal with
they
Woodstock.
weren't paying
They weren't absolutely. They weren't paying $4,000.
They were rolling up,
but they were
naked.
That was really about the experience, not hey, I've got some big baller, got some.
But
cash,
there was still,
I
think Woodstock still had tickets, but then everybody flooded it.
Yeah.
Everybody. I mean, I honestly think that if I'm remembering correctly, Woodstock did have tickets you had to pay, and I don't know, adjusted for inflation, probably not close to $4,000 even with inflation. But the point is that they still paid something, and then everybody showed up and just fucking,
And did they all whine about it and go? When's my water arriving? When is the food getting here?
No, but they didn't. They didn't pay for. They didn't pay for an island.
Slow.
Yeah, but they also didn't pay for an island experience. They went to some middle of a field.
Fucking river.
All right. Well,
my last word on it.
I love you guys. So
okay,
I'm on your
go.
side.
So tickets for the first Woodstock, $18 in advance, $24 at the gate.
Right. Okay, but this
now
is 68.
Now, okay.
Okay, so you have to adjust for inflation.
Let's adjust
That's too much. That's too much for me to do math off the top of my head. If I had my financial calculator, I could project that out. So no, I mean, even with compounding inflation, I highly doubt $14 is going to be the equivalent of $4,000 today for sure. Right?
I'm gonna check with Google. Keep talking.
Okay, do it. So I mean, it probably would end up at maybe $132 is what I would assume with compounding inflation from 68.
Wow, what did you say?
132.
Wow, she's good.
What was it?
You're really good. $123.16.
Wow.
I have mind powers. Yeah, so it's still not the equivalent of $4,000, right?
Correct.
Even adjusted with inflation.
Absolutely.
But I mean, the thing is that people weren't going, oh, this is the first time they ever put it on. I don't think it's going to be good. They're like, they wanted the first-hand experience. I mean, think of all of the festivals that started small. Rock in Rio, you had all the Live Nation stuff, and then you had the Las Rages, which is a big metal festival 3 days down here that's in the middle of downtown. I mean, at one point, they all had their first concert, and people wanted to be the first one.
in England.
But when they did their first concert, they were
The who?
reasonably priced.
Glastonbury.
The what?
Glastonbury. I'll say it 5 times. Glastonbury.
We don't know.
Glastonbury.
We don't know what you're talking
It's
about.
like
What's the Glastonbury?
it's not the Glastonbury. It just is Glastonbury.
It is Glastonbury?
Yeah, it's a huge festival that's been going since. Look it up. Probably the 70s, I would think.
Glastonbury.
Yeah.
And I've never heard of this. She might be making it up. You got to watch those
I've
Brits.
been to it.
They're
been
shifty.
to it.
Do you remember it? You don't?
I do remember it. I saw Beck.
Because nothing says British like Beck.
Oh, I know.
Go ahead.
I was going to say what else. I was having a good time.
Beck, so you started in alphabetical order, and then you got drunk, and you just stopped from there. You're like,
It was very.
I saw Beck, and then I started drinking, and I don't remember.
I think who else I saw. It was very wet and muddy, and
They're always trying to rip us off because Woodstock was all wet and muddy, and even when they tried to do it in the 90s, they had the mud people because it was all like raining and people were playing in the mud.
Well, I'm looking at the Glastonbury website. The website looks like it was built in 1983.
Wow.
Before the internet.
Predating the website.
Predating
wow.
the internet.
Flintstone's over there with the chisel and shit.
They've got an imitation Las Vegas sign that says, "Welcome to the fabulous Glastonbury."
Is it really an imitation Las Vegas sign?
Really?
Imitation Las Vegas sign. Can you see it right there?
Oh, my God.
It's bad.
Totally.
It's bad.
I'd be a little ashamed to be British
It's to be
right now.
shamed.
She saw Beck. Stormy.
She's
I can't think who else I saw, but this was many years ago, so I can't even remember. But I do remember seeing Beck.
okay. They have here was Friday, July 6th. Let's see who they have.
Okay.
Jamie Yost. I don't know who that is. Do you?
I don't know. I've heard the name, but
Okay.
yeah.
Matthew Gordon Price.
Don't know them at all.
Jordan Cook. Oh, they have Martha Reeves and the Vandellas.
Martha Reeves and who?
The Vandellas.
Oh, I thought you said the Vanillas. I was like,
Vandellas.
wow.
Martha Reeves and
Nothing
the
screams
Vandellas.
soul like the Vanillas.
So yes, big name. I can't wait to make it to the
do have-
Glastonbury.
They had Beck.
They do have big names. You're not.
I just named them.
No, that's not the. You're not, you're
I
not
think
reading the right.
somebody needs to come up with a
You're
band
not
name of
reading- Oh,
somebody,
wait.
somebody in the Vanillas.
They also have Jessica and the Rabbits.
You are not reading the right
They
thing
have
at all.
The Adventures of Echo Town and K.
Are these DJs?
Limp.
You're not reading the right.
It's the real thing I'm reading.
He's not reading the right site. I'm going to come back.
Okay.
I'm on the
Proper
stage.
All
lineup.
right.
time.
Zoe will come back with people that we've heard
The
of.
lineup that I saw other than Beck.
Okay. I don't even know how she's going
Back
to
in the
Google that.
90s.
I was
I'll
drunk
find
at
out.
Glaskin. What is it? Glastonbury?
Glastonbury.
Whatever.
I will find
And
out.
I know Beck was there. And then Google's is going to open up and it's going to give us the whole.
I did like me some Beck though back in the day.
No, he was all go 2 turntables and a microphone. Where it's at. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Okey-doke.
Well, when we reconvene, Zoe will expect you to have the full lineup of whoever the fuck was at this festival with Beck.
I was there,
Beck,
remember?
If Beck was not the headliner, I'm going to be so pissed
Oh,
at
he
you.
wasn't the headliner. I'm not saying
He was the
just
first band.
somebody
She's-
that I remember.
Stormy, he was
She's
the
going to
first
bring it
band.
I
back.
remember.
She's going to bring in the paper, and it's actually going to be a P. Oh, it's Peck. I'm sorry. I could have sworn
He was
that
so good.
Beck.
I was singing
He
Beck
was
the
so
whole
good
time.
all the time. It was a Beck cover band called Peck.
He was a real thing.
Dude,
He
there
had-
should be a Beck cover band called Peck. If not, somebody should make that happen.
Absolutely.
That'd be wonderful. Oh my gosh. All right. Well, until then, we will reconvene and we will expect to be starting off at the top of the hour with a full breakdown of the concert that Zoe was too smashed at to remember any of the other performers besides Beck.
Absolutely.
I will somehow make that happen.
All right.
Looking forward to it.
All right.
Talk to you later.
That's
Bye-bye.
it.
Okay. Cheerio.
Thanks for listening. If you like us, subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.